Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 5, text 6. Tasyanubhava kathito गुणाश्च परमोदया भूमन् रेणुन् सविममे जो विष्णुर्वर्णयेद् गुणान् तस्यानुभावकथितो गुणाश्च परमोदया भूमान् रेणुन् सविममे जो विष्णु वर्णयेद् गुणान्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Although the great activities and transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's various incarnations are wonderfully described, sometimes we are unable to understand them. Yet everything is possible for Lord Vishnu. If one could count the atoms of the universe, then he could count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But no one can count the atoms of the universe, nor can anyone count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord's glorious activities referred to in this connection took place after his personal bodyguards, Joy and Vijay, became Daityas. Having been cursed by the great sages Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanat Kumar and Sanandana, Jaya, as Hiranyakya, had a fight with Varahadev. And that same Varahadev is mentioned in regard to the Raivata millennium. The fighting, however, took place during the reign of first Manu Swayambhuva. Therefore, according to some authorities, there are two Varahas. According to others, however, Varaha appeared during the regime of Swayambhu Manu and stayed in the water until that of Raivata Manu. Some may doubt that this could be possible. But the answer is that everything is possible. If one could count the atoms within the universe, one could count the qualities of Lord Vishnu. But the atoms of the universe are impossible for anyone to count. And similarly, no one can count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Here, Sukadeva Goswami says that although the great activities and transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's various incarnations are wonderfully described, sometimes we are unable to understand them. Why? Why you cannot understand them?
Because of our defective senses.
Yeah. Huh?
It's unlimited.
Oh. Bhagavan is unlimited, isn't it? Ananta. Lord is unlimited. Krishna is unlimited. His activities, his pastimes, his potency, everything is unlimited. But we are limited. Jiva is minute particle. Minute particle, isn't it? So limited. How can you then understand the unlimited? Your minute potency, very minute, fragment. How can you understand the unlimited? So it is impossible on your part and not possible on your part. Therefore, a conditioned soul cannot understand this thing. Do you understand? Of course, there is one thing. Mame vansa jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Jiva eternally my fragmental part, eternal part. Krishna, Chinmaya Bhaskara, Jiva Chitkona. Krishna is spiritual sun. You see material sun here. Krishna is spiritual sun. Do you understand? So, Krishna is the effulgence of Krishna, the spiritual son Krishna, is much more. You cannot conceive of it. If crores of, you see, crores of this sun will combine together. So you can think of, imagine how will be the effulgence. So Krishna's effulgence is more than that. How can you think of it? It's inconceivable. And Jiva is a spiritual spark. Do you understand? It's a spiritual spark. Very minor spark. Isn't it? You just take a material example. There is a very great effulgent fire is there. Great fire. It's effulgent fire. So some minute sparks are coming from the fire. Those sparks are coming and they are very minute, so they are sometimes extinguished because of their minute nature. But it is also possible. Sometimes even a spark can create a great fire. You understand? Only a spark can also create a great fire and can also burn. For us, it's even something like Himalayan mountain. You understand? Similarly, though Jiva, a minor spark, sphulingam of that Chinmaya Surya, Krishna, of the spiritual son Krishna, still, if some spark is very fortunate, who gets krupa, causeless mercy of that spiritual son Krishna, is unlimited, unlimitedly powerful. You understand? Inconceivably powerful, inconceivably effulgent. You understand? If some fortunate spiritual spark can get his mercy, he can also do wonderful activities. You understand? He can also do wonderful activities. So what to speak of Krishna? Krishna madhuta karmanam. Only Krishna can do wonderful activities. We cannot think of it. Yesterday we are saying that thing. By his mere willing, the ocean will be turned into a tract of land. A tract of land will be turned into a big ocean, unlimited ocean. A frozen ice can have the capacity of burning, can burn like fire. And fire can be turned into a frozen ice, like that. Trunam brother, Vajra Truna Kinata. A blade of grass can act like a thunderbolt, and a thunderbolt can turn into a blade of grass. By his mere willing. Krishna's supreme will. By mere willing, he can do anything. So nothing is impossible in the part of Krishna. You understand? So how can you think of this thing? You cannot think of this thing. It's a tiny brain, tiny conditional mind, defective mind. You cannot think of it. It may appear to you as impossible, but it's not impossible on the part of Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead. Many things are there. So those who are very puffed up persons, having acquired some material education, material scholarship, they try to understand the Supreme Lord by dint of their own merit, own material knowledge, material intelligence. And they fail. They cannot understand. You understand? You cannot understand. As you said, we give this example. One can see the sun by the help of sunshine only. Now there is sunshine, so you can see the sun. But at night, you can't see the sun. Why?
It's no sunshine.
Because there is no sunshine. So you cannot see the sun. You may be a great scientist, material scientist. Those who are inventing very wonderful machines. Do you understand? Like telescopes, microscopes like this. Someone may say, all right, I'll invent a machine. So at night, I'll show you sun. All right, we challenge. Do it. We challenge. Do it. Show the sun at night. Cannot. However, very powerful machine, a wonderful machine he may invent. Still he cannot show the sun at night. Because only by sunshine you can show the sun. No by other means. Similarly, the Krishna is Chinmaya Bhaskara. Krishna is the spiritual sun. So only by the spiritual sunshine you can see. Otherwise, how can you see? In other words, we say, only by the mercy of Krishna can one understand him and can one see him. No other way is there. ईश्वर कृपाले सया जारे सही से ईश्वर तत्व जानी बारे पारे. Isn't it? ईश्वर कृपाले सया जारे सही से ईश्वर तत्व जानी बारे पारे. Gopinath Acharya says this thing to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, brother-in-law. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was such a great Pandit, very great learned scholar, Brihaspati avatar, incarnation of Brihaspati. He knows Shastra. Very expert, learned, proficient. You understand? He had wonderful proficiency. You understand? In Shastra. Shastric knowledge. Mahaprabhu has admitted it. Bhattacharya jani tumi sakshat Brihaspati. Mahaprabhu knows. You Bhattacharya, you are Brihaspati incarnation. Great Pandit. Devaguru, the spiritual master of the demigods, Brihaspati. You understand? Shloka vakhya karite kar hoto nahi shakti. You understand? Shloka vakhya karite kar hoto nahi shakti. You are Brihaspati directly. Therefore you could explain this shloka Atmaramascha Munaya. Atmarama shloka in such a wonderful way, a scholarly way. No other person can do such. But Mahaprabhu said, তুমি যে ব্যাখ্যা করিল পণ্ডিত প্রতিভা এই শ্লোকর আছে আর অভিপ্রায়. But whatever explanation you gave is all scholarly. But this is not the real explanation of this verse. It has something other, very deep purport in it. And Mahaprabhu explained. Without touching any of the explanations of Sarvabhattacharya, scholarly explanation. Sarvabhattacharya explained that verse in 9 different ways. Do you understand? 9 different ways. And Mahaprabhu explained without touching that explanation in 18 different ways. And Mahaprabhu is the supreme authority. So, hearing that explanation, Sarvabhattacharya was so much amazed. Then he couldn't understand. That's why he got mercy of Mahaprabhu. Then he could understand, yes, Sakhyat Narayana. Yes, directly Narayana. Otherwise, nobody can explain in such a way. And he surrendered. Otherwise, prior to that, Gopinath Acharya tried his best to convince Sarvabhattacharya that Mahaprabhu is Narayana or Supreme Lord. But he was not convinced. He didn't. He was not convinced. He didn't accept. He put forth so many arguments. And then Gopinath said, Tar krupa hoile tumi se kothai. When you get his krupa, then you can understand. Otherwise, you can. When he got krupa of Mahaprabhu, then he could understand. Similarly. If you can, someone is fortunate, gets the causeless mercy of Supreme Lord, he can only understand him. See him and understand him. Otherwise, nobody can understand. He is very, very wonderful. Nobody can think. This is impossible. It's wonderful, as I said. So-called, so many so-called scholars are still there. They cannot accept that this Kurukshetra, the patch of land there, near Delhi, that 5,000 years ago, such a great fighting battle, Mahabharata battle was taken place there. They cannot accept it. No, how is it? It is impossible. The Kauravas had 11 Aikhvani soldiers. Pandavas had 8 Aikhvani soldiers. So much. Many horses, many elephants, many chariots, many drummers, many bugle players, so many audience, so much, so many people. How is it possible that this tiny place could accommodate so many people? It's impossible. It's impossible. That's it. It's impossible. But this is a fact. They cannot think it up. So they cannot accept it. Because they try to understand all this tattva, all these facts, by dint of their own material knowledge and merit, their intelligence, and they fail. But Bhagavan Krishna was present there, was charioteer of Arjuna. You understand? Who is beyond this time and place. So he can do and undo anything. He can do and undo things. So that was his Leela, Kurukshetra Leela. That was the Kurukshetra pastime of Krishna before his departure from this planet. He was manifesting his Kurukshetra pastimes. So that was possible. And you cannot think about it. And you say impossible, it's not true. It's a mythology, it's not reality. They say so. It's a mythology. Fictitious story. The story told by grandmother, Aima Kahani. Grandmother, grandchildren speaks some funny stories. You understand? Have you heard funny stories from your grandmother? Yeah? She speaks about Pandura's box. Pandura has a wonderful box. Many things are coming out, so many wonderful. It's a story. And these scholars, they say so. This story is a fictitious story. It's like grandmother is telling his grandchildren. It's all fictitious. The mythology is not reality. But this is a fact and this is a reality. It's not mythology. But these people cannot think it up. And this is very, very impossible on their part. Because they don't know how Krishna can perform such wonderful acts. Krishna Madhuta Karmana. In that place there is chariot in which Krishna was there, Arjuna was there. And Krishna was driving that chariot. In that chariot, Krishna showed his universal form. You cannot calculate what is the dimension of this universe. It was great. So how in this, according to your calculations, such a tiny place accommodated such a universal form in a chariot? You can't think of that. Krishna can do. Everything is possible on his part. He can make the possible impossible, impossible possible. That Krishna can do. And you have to accept it. And nothing else. If you can get his mercy, then you can understand this tattva. Otherwise, nobody can understand this. You understand? It is said here. Saundarjam laranali dharjadalanam lila ramastammini virjam kandukita drivarjamamaha pare parardhangunaha Shidam sarpajanananuranjanam aho jasyayo masmat prabhur viswam viswadanina kirti ravatat Krishna jaganmohana. You understand? That is the Sukha sari, parrot, Sukha, sari, what do you say? What?
Female parrot.
No, parrot looks green, but sari looks black. Not, I don't know, I don't know in English. Anyhow, singing bird. They have a nice singing bird. As you say, nightingale. As a nightingale. Parrot and nightingale. Sukasari. They were talking about Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Do you understand? And parrot belongs to Krishna's side, and that sari, nightingale, belongs to Radharani's side. So there is competition. The Sukha, the parrot, glorifies the qualities, transcendental qualities of Krishna. And sari, nightingale, glorifies the transcendental qualities of Srimati Radharani. And that's competition. Sukha, parrot, tries to establish Krishna, the highest, topmost. But sari tries to establish that no, Radharani is the topmost, like this competition. Do you know it? No, you should know it. It is said, it is in Govinda Lila Amrita. You understand? It is in Govinda Lila Amrita, written by Kaviraj Goswami. So Kaviraj Goswami, Govinda Lila Amrita. You understand? Yes. Saundarjam laranali dharjadalanam lila ramastammini virjam Kandukita Drivarjamamalaha Pari Pradhangunaha Silang Sarvadana Nuranjana Maho Jasyayamasmat Prabhur Vishwang Vishwajanina Kirti Ravatat Krishna Jaganamohana. Tarot says, Krishna is so wonderfully beautiful. Do you understand? Incomparably beautiful. Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Visesa Sobham Brahma Samhita says. The beauty of Krishna far excels the beauty of the crores of cupids. Wonderful beauty. One cannot conceive of it. The Brajaramanis, the damsels of Brajabhumi, sing such wonderful beauty of Krishna, lost their patience. They lose their patience. Do you understand? Even the wonderful pastimes of Krishna greatly amazed the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi. And so, the Krishna is so wonderfully potential, unlimited. He has unlimited potential. Because his Ananta is unlimited, his potential is unlimited, unlimitedly powerful. So he just picked up the great Govardhana Giri mountain like a tiny ball. Do you understand? As a boy picks up his ball and plays with it. The Krishna did like that. It's unlimited power. Do you understand? He says here, whose transcendental qualities are unlimited. Parardhatita. Do you understand? Parardhatita means unlimited. Here it says, if as one cannot count the atoms of the universe, similarly one cannot count the transcendental qualities of Krishna. It says Parardhatita. Sukha says the same thing. And he is endowed with such transcendental, pleasing, amazing qualities that everyone is attracted towards him. And he maintains the whole universe, not only one universe, crores, unlimited number of universes. How is it possible? One cannot think of it. So, my Krishna is so unlimitedly powerful, wonderfully beautiful, like this. Parrot says. Then Sari says. She glorifies the qualities of Radharani. Sri Radhikaya Priyata Swarupata Susilata Nartanagana Chaturi Gunali Sampat Kavita Charajate Jaganmana Mohana Chitta Mohini. Do you understand? Sukha says, Parrot says, Krishna is Jagan Mohana, who enchants whole universe. All are attracted for wonderful beauty. Do you understand? Even Krishna himself is attracted for his own beauty. He's Jagan Mohan. He's Madan Mohan. Krishna is known as also Madan Mohan. Madan means Cupid. Even Cupid is enchanted. Generally, Cupid enchants everybody here in the material world. But Krishna is Madan Mohan. Even Cupid is enchanted by Krishna. That means Krishna enchants Cupid because his beauty far excels that of the crores of Cupids. Then Sari says, Sri Radhikaya Priyata Swarupata Susilata Nartanagana Chaturi गुणाली संपद कविता तो राजते जगन मनमोहन चित्त मनोहिनी. Sari says, no, that's not the fact. Krishna has become Madan Mohana because of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is known as Madana Mohana Mohini. Gopinath, you understood? Madana Mohana Mohini. That means Srimati Radharani enchants Madana Mohana. Krishna enchants Madana, Cupid, so he is Madana Mohana. But Srimati Radharani enchants Madana Mohana, he is Madana Mohana Mohini. Do you understand? And Srimati Radharani is wonderfully also beautiful. Paramasaundarja. Supremely beautiful. Srimati Radharani is also endowed with unlimited transcendental qualities. And Srimati Radharani knows such art, very wonderful art of dancing and singing. Do you understand? Thereby, he gives pleasure to Krishna. Govindanandini Radha. Radharani gives pleasure, ananda, to Govinda. So Govinda or Krishna is very much attracted towards Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani enchants Krishna, Jagan Mohana. Do you understand? Therefore, Srimati Radharani is known as Madan Mohana Mohini. That means Srimati Radharani is Radharani par excellence Krishna. Then Sukha says, it's all in Govinda Lidamrita. Bansidhari Jagannari Chitahari Chasari Ke Bihari Gopanari Virjiyana Madana Mohana. Then Sukha says, oh Sari, Krishna is a Bansidhari. Krishna is holding Bansi flute, plays very sweet flute. Thereby he enchants the minds of the damsels of whole universe. Do you understand? Jagannari Chitohari. Do you understand? Jagannari Chitohari. Thereby he attracts the hearts and minds of the women of the whole world. Do you understand? Let that Madan Mohan be glorified. Then, cutting jokes. With the parrot Sukha says, Radha Sange Jadabhati Tada Madana Mohana Annatha Viswa Mohopi Swam Madana Mohita. You understand? Gopinath. Radha Sange Jadibhati Jadabhati Tada Madana Mohana Annatha Viswa Mohopi Swam Madana Mohita. Then Sari cutting jokes said, all right, your Krishna is a Madan Mohan, that's all right, but how is he? When he is with Radharani, then he is Madan Mohan. Do you understand? When he is with Radharani, he is Madan Mohan. If Radharani will not be there, that Vishwa Mohana or Madan Mohana will be enchanted by Madana Cupid. You understand? Your Krishna is Vishwa Mohana. That means so enchants the whole Vishwa universe. Your Krishna is Madan Mohana. Your Krishna is enchanting Madan Cupid. As long as he is With Radharani, he is Madan Mohan and Vishwa Mohan. But when Radharani will not be there, that Madan Mohan and Vishwa Mohan will be Madana Mohi, will be enchanted by Cupid. Do you understand what he says? This is very wonderful thing. Ah. So, our point is here that you cannot understand a having a tiny brain, limited power of understanding, the wonderful attributes, wonderful qualities, wonderful pastimes, wonderful activities of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Those who are very fortunate, gotten the Krupa, mercy of the Lord, Krishna, only they can be able to understand to some extent. So, all this Vedic literature, Veda Purana, whatever is given here is a fact. It is not fictitious story. But we fail to understand it. We cannot understand it because of our limited brain, power of understanding. And we are bereft of the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore we cannot understand. It's not a fact. It's a fictitious story and it's impossible. It's not possible. It's not right. Even it is said, many times I have said that thing, again I am repeating this episode of Agastya Muni. You understand? So Agastya Muni is a human being. He is not Bhagavan, but he had such power that only by drinking a handful of water from the unlimited ocean, you see, 7 oceans, he could make them dry up. Only by drinking a handful of water. 7 oceans could make the whole ocean dry up. How is it possible? It seems to be impossible. So, many say so. This is the delirium of an insane person, a mad person. Pagoler prop. Pagol ki no koi, chagol ki no khai. Madman can say anything, a chagol can eat anything. Isn't it? This is the madman. The madman's delirium. All madman says, nobody cares. But it's not delirium. And what is it? And how is it possible? And what is the tattva behind it? One should understand in tattva. Janma karmam chame divyam evam jo veti tattatah tyakta deham punarjananayati samangeti Arjuna. Krishna said that thing in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. My appearance or birth, my karma, my activities are not material, it's transcendental. And one should understand it in tattva, in a sense, in truth. One should not try to understand it by apparent consideration. You understand? Then you'll be bewildered or confused. Can't understand. Joveti tattva tyakta devam punarjananayati samangeti. If someone understands me in tattva, my birth, my activities, then after quitting this body, he'll go to my abode. Never come back here again. Never burn here again. So this is, one should understand in tattva. So what is tattva behind it? That by drinking a handful of water from the 7 great oceans, Agastya Muni could make them dry. What is tattva? And one cannot understand it. It's so wonderful also. But that's fact. This material existence is known as Bhavasagara. It's like a great ocean. like 7 oceans, unlimited ocean, dreadful ocean of material existence. Therefore it is known as, said as ocean. Do you understand? In the ocean you will find many fearful aquatic animals. Sharks are there, crocodiles are there, whales are there, so many. Very fearful. Aquatic animals are there. Do you understand? Similarly, in this material existence which is compared to an ocean, here are also 6 enemies. Do you understand? Like sharks and crocodiles. What are they? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsya. Isn't it? Lust, anger, greed. Kama, lust, Krodha, anger, Lobha, greed. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, delusion. Mada, pride. Matsarya, intolerance. These are 6 great enemies. Like sharks and crocodiles in the ocean. You understand? They are always attacking you. Always attacking you. Therefore, if you can make this whole ocean dry up, all these fearful aquatic animals will die. They cannot do any harm to you. You understand? In other words, the purpose is that, tattva is that, if you can make this material existence which is compared to an ocean dry up, then all these enemies, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, will die. They cannot disturb you. They cannot attack you. They will die. And what is that? How can you make it? How can you make this materialistic existence, ocean-like materialistic existence, dry up? How? Only by the association of sadhus. Do you understand? Only by the association of sadhus. So, Agastya Muni had such association of sadhus. So he had acquired such power, wonderful power. So he could dry up such dreadful ocean. Do you understand? And ocean is also known as Ratna Garbha. Do you understand? What do you say?
Some
Valuable
valuable
jewels are there. Very deep sources of ocean. Do you understand? Ratna Garbha. When you see demigods and demons soon, the milk ocean, so many wonderful, nice things come out. Isn't it? Lakshmi Devi came out. That Suravi Gabi came out. Airavata, Asti, elephant came out. Uchisrava, Swahars came out. So many nice things come out. At last, Dhanvantari came with the pot of nectar, you see. So many things are there. By tuning, they get it. So, devotion also contains that. Many valuable jewels. So if you can dry up this ocean, all these fearful aquatic animals will die, then you can get that valuable jewels. Many divers are there now. Ocean divers. They dive deep into the ocean. Are you a diver? They are diving deep into the ocean to get some jewels also. Isn't it? Still they cannot. They only make some adventures. Make some adventures. But if you can have such sadhu sangha, associations of sadhus, You'll be endowed with such power, the transcendental power, potency, thereby you can dry up this dreadful ocean-like, dreadful ocean-like material existence, which is compared to dreadful ocean. So all this great fearful aquatic animals will die, and also you'll get that valuable jewel, that means Krishna Prem. That's the valuable jewel here, the Krishna Prem. This is only be obtained from sadhu sangha, association of the sadhus. This is the purpose behind that. Thank you.